Hey, it's Nevin again with Disc, coming to you again with Cooking Outdoors has never been better. Now today we have a special treat for you. This specific Discit episode is sponsored by the Largemouth Bass Design. And the main reason for this is because it's in honor of a customer in Texas that actually requested for their recipe made during the Discit cooking show. So what we're going to do for you, Suzanne, in Texas, is we're going to do what you called your farmer's rancher's breakfast, or something like that. Now it's pretty neat because there's a couple things I've never heard of before. One is I never knew that you could buy potatoes that are pre-sliced in a can. I had no idea what sweet gherkins are, and I've never ever tried sliced beets. So we're going to try something new. We're going to have some fun with it. We're going to go from there. So first things first, I'm going to set up my Discit, get that fired up. Now we're going to try to follow Suzanne's recipe as close as possible. So some of the things we're going to be doing, it's going to be all trial and error for me and stuff too, but we're going to have some fun with it. So she asked for about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, which I've got in my disc. I've got this cooking up right now. Now she asked for some thinly sliced kielbasa sausage discs. So we try to cut these out at about an 1/8 inch, maybe 3/16 thick. So we're going to add that in. Suzanne also asked for about a medium diced onion. Hopefully those onions are cut up small enough. Sometimes when people refer to it as diced, they're looking at it for real small diced portions. So we're going to mix that up. While that's cooking too, Suzanne also asked that we add in 2 cans of sliced potatoes. 1, 2. Smells good already. So she also mentions to cook thoroughly and stir regularly and to add salt, pepper, and garlic to taste. So let's get that going. I like all my seasonings as well. So we're going to add some garlic. I'm going to put some sea salt on here. And we're going to add some pepper. Now, Suzanne, I like a lot more pepper than most people do, so I hope that doesn't scare you with all that black pepper. Now, what's neat about this is one of the very first requests we've had off the cooking shows. Suzanne and John have watched our cooking shows off our newsletter and our blog and our YouTube page. So they sent this thing in. I actually asked permission from Suzanne to see if we can use that recipe, and she actually said that she'd be honored if we did it. Now there's a little bit of history here on this particular customer. We met John and Suzanne in Pueblo, Colorado when we were doing our shows at the Chili and Frijoles Festival or at the Boats and Blues. They liked the Discit and they wanted to get it, but they never did. Well, about a year went by and we get an email from them out of Texas. So we started talking and stuff. So John ended up ordering the Largemouth Bass Discit design and we sent it out to his new home in Texas. So thank you guys for following us from New Mexico all the way to Pueblo, Colorado. Now moving to Texas, we've got one out there. Now John also owns a website called jdworld.net, so you can see what he does out there. And you'll see pictures of John and Suzanne cooking on their Discit through a forum they did called New Grill. The other thing is kind of neat about it, and thank you, John, and thank you for all of the veterans. Susan actually let me know that John has been deployed to Afghanistan. So John, be safe. Thank you for what you're doing. Come home safe. Let's do another video on the Discit, John. And Suzanne, let's get this thing going for your request. Great, so now we've got our kielbasa sausage, our potatoes all cooked up on the disc. What I just did is I've taken all the potatoes, the onions, and the kielbasa sausage discs all the way up to the side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those eggs that we were talking about. So I'm going to add about 8 of the eggs. Now Suzanne's telling me this is basically more of a breakfast deal, but sometimes it's served as lunch or dinner, whatever else. Sometimes it's served with a side of salad. I'm real excited to see how this thing's going to taste, as I've never tried the sweet gherkins before, and I'm not quite sure if I've even had beets before, so we'll learn and we'll check it out. Get some flame back on there. Nice. So I'm going to scramble up these eggs here. And once we get the eggs fully cooked together, we'll mix everything back into it. according to Suzanne's recipe anyway. So we'll make sure we get these things fully cooked and mixed up, which a lot of times is better like that because it's going to keep the separate flavors. So when you do the eggs, you have the eggs scrambled and all separately. You have the sausage and potatoes and onions that bring their own flavor to the whole deal. Once everything's cooked, you mix it all together again. Now you can also scramble the eggs in a separate bowl before you put them into the disc. I like the fact of not making a whole lot of dirty dishes, so I try to do everything just in the disc. Now, as we mentioned, this recipe itself, this request, was sent in by a customer of ours, Suzanne out of Texas. We'd invite all of you to send in something to us, give us a challenge on what we can cook, make a request. We're always loving to learn something new. But please send us in your videos, make your requests. Maybe if you want to see something like bananas Foster, or maybe you want to see fried peaches and ice cream, maybe you want to see fried catfish or something. You know, it's always fun. We'd like to do a whole new episode for you on the whole deal. And when you send that in, we'll send you a little thank you. Suzanne, check your mailbox. We're going to get some of the mail coming to you as a thank you for your involvement and your request on the Disc-It Cooking Show. So, all right. Now these eggs are pretty much done. I'm going to mix all my kielbasa sausage and my potatoes and onions back into it. Actually looks really, really good. Once I get this mixed up, I think I'm supposed to warm up the beets. Not sure. I'm going to try it anyway. Okay, so I'm going to move all this up here. I'm going to turn the disc completely off, being as I only want to warm the beets. Put these right here in the center here. Nice color. So she asked me, or she requested that you serve them with the side of the pickled beets and the sweet gherkins. So let's go ahead and get that set up. I have no idea how many to put on here, so let's just try 2 or 3. Yeah, I'll make it 4. I'm going to flip these beets. I imagine they're already ready to go. So while those warm up, get a couple extra sausages in there. And there it is, Suzanne and John's recipe out of Texas. We've got our Suzanne's Rancher's Breakfast with sweet gherkins and beets, all cooked on a Disc-It. Let's find out what this is. Oh man, that's a sweet gherkin. Suzanne, you're right. Cooking outdoors has never been better. Disc-It. Hey, this is Nevin with Disc-It, and thanks for watching the previous video. To see a ton more videos of all kinds of different things, all you got to do is go to disc-it.com/free. We'll see you there.